All right. Hello, everyone. This is Mikoy, your resident tours room owner, and today we're going to be covering the tournament's year-end awards. Now, we've done this. This is the second annual tours year-end awards. The last one, of course, being such a wonderful series. It's a wonderful thing that I've done last year, and I basically wanted to recreate again this year. So, and I've included both tournaments and Tours Plaza. If you want to check out Tours Plaza's year-end awards, I'll put a link down in the description below. So, what is exactly the year-end awards? This is basically a lifetime, an annual tradition of celebrating what were the biggest moments in 2021, in accordance to the tournament's room. So, how did this year-end awards work? So basically in round one, which I should have done in the 1st of December, but I have too much commitment on IRL stuff, plus I was graduating this month, so I couldn't really, commit to making these awards, so I had to do them, mid-December. So, apologies if it was late, and that's why I didn't get nearly as much responses like I did last year. So, the way that this award show works is that I asked you guys in round one, I asked you guys to vote on a specific topic. Topics like who are the best staff this year? Who is the best player in your eyes from Tournament's Room this year? What is the best event that we've held? So, I took the most popular responses and put it into a top 5 for the definitive. If that's why I did it by round. So you see round 2, you had the top 5 out of the selected few that were selected from round 1. So that is how it worked. Now let's reveal to you the winners on each and every Tours Award result. So here we go. First off, we have the best room owner of 2021. Now, no surprises here that the best room owner award went to Noel. I mean, again, no surprises that it went to Noel. That she's been incredible behind the scenes. I won't go too much in detail and go with what goes behind this in terms of staff because I can't really disclose that, but let's just say right now that Noel did a fantastic job, keeping the room together when we need global, because we're short on staff a while back. So basically, when the globals came in, it was our precautionary measure, and definitely Noel contributed to that along with the 4 current ROs. Rage, Think, and Trace all did well for themselves, and I was basically the latecomer, so that's why but it was I came in late, but it was very nice of you guys to put me at least in 2nd place above Think, which really surprised me because I thought I was gonna be 3rd or 4th. I was gonna be in the middle of the pack, but seems like you guys really know me a lot, so. Whatever, I never really do anything to the room that's productive and shoot, so Noel definitely deserves this award for best room owner. Alright, next up, best room moderator of 2021. Now, this is the step below room owner. For those of you who don't know, room owner is basically the highest ranked user in the room, and moderator is the follow-up. The servants, if you will. And the winner for best room moderator went to Crunchman with a overwhelming 30.9% of the vote. Now, it's not hard to see why, because if you live in my time zone, you know that Crunchman's basically the one guy who's been active. He's basically taken over my realms because he's active in that dead time zone. In the accursed time zone, aka Asia and America. So, and early Europe. So it's no surprise why Crunchman won here. Also has been very active in chat. He's been such a lad, offering some of the most helpful battle advice you could ever ask for. Like, especially when he started out as Tech Thieves and we saw the man grew. Yeah, Crunchman definitely deserves his nomination. Second place was Jordy, another relatively new user who rapidly rose to the occasion, became moderator at the end of the year. Impressive stuff, and I really like to see what both bring to the table in the years to follow. And of course, the honorable mentions being Frostpixel, Mal, and Pote. Frostpixel being relatively new, and Mal and Pote being relatively old. Old in terms of tours room staff. So yeah, it was. I'm very happy for these 5 making it into the top 5. And of course, there are some honorable mentions there, like Axe and Saba and Velvet and all those people. But yeah, if we want to go for best room moderator, it's got to be Crunchman. Next up, best room driver. This is the step below moderator, aka the first few people with the number sign. Oh no, the percentage sign in Pokemon Showdown. So the winner for best room driver of 2021, it can only be one, and it won the polls by a landslide. It's freaking Siphiecon by 51.9% of the vote. I mean, come on, this guy's Siffy's commitment to the room has been impeccable. Like, he's been absolutely a nice guy in terms of the room presence. From what I've seen as well, like Siffy's been offering like useful, has been helping a lot of the regs, and he's been a certified meme machine in when interacting with guys like Jordy, Crunchman, Frostpixel, especially. So yeah, Siphiecon, also he's a long-time Tours main. So, he's a long-time Tours reg he's been around for a really long time, and he definitely knows the ins and outs of the room. Second to them is actually a tie between 2 relatively newcomers in Swiftix and Jadina Bambino. Oh, again, not surprised when you see a person being a lot and being present in terms of the room, you know that they're gonna get the votes for best room driver, and of course the orange slacking either, like PA and Ransay, over guys like Gold Todd and well, I think that's all of them. We only have like 7 room drivers. I don't know, can't remember the other ones, but sorry. Oh, Pixel. He was also nominated as well. But yeah, definitely goes to show how amazing an impact just being around the room often can bring. So Siphiecon absolutely deserves the nod of being best room driver. Now we want to thank the people who have been contributing to the room, who have contributed to the room for the better half of 2021. Unfortunately, while they may not be staff anymore, they are still staff in our hearts. So, best resigned staff of 2021. And the winner for best resigned staff, coincidentally, was also best RO last year. Raj.shoot won best resigned staff. Again, not too surprised because Raj absolutely was a Chad behind the scenes. He was basically the active RO with Trace because they are in Asian time zones. So we know the guy very well, and he's also had a big impact in the grand scheme of the Tours community. Everyone who was brought here from like 2018 to 2020 and beyond all basically had Raj involved at some point, and not surprised. I'm certainly not surprised, and it was sad to see him resign from RO this year, especially since he deserved to get it. Next up was Streak Boom, who was one of our newcomers for drivers this year. And he's done. He's certainly made an impact on the regs because the regs, of course, voted for whoever they think made the lasting impact that they deserve. And while most people in the tour, like the long-time tours community, know Raj a lot, most of the newer guys know Street Boom a lot, and definitely like made an impact. Street Boom has definitely a lot helpful behind the scenes, and of course in the room itself, he's been very active, been competing in a lot of tours, making memes out of us, basically putting us oldies into shame with his competitive battling skills. Next in the limelight is Lantern Light, who I think won last year's no. She won best nicest tour staff last year. But again, this Lant I'm surprised Lant got as much as she can. Well, she definitely made an impact. This was more definitely of a Plaza idea because Lant was so integral in Plaza that it carried over when she moved to Tour's room, and definitely a lot of regs saw that, and that's why she's third on the pie chart here. Fourth is LPH, who is who again is the same time zone as me, but since he's moved to Canada, I guess he can't share that distinction anymore. Bastard. But yeah, I can definitely appreciate his work as well. And also Rob, who also, wouldn't you know it, resigned this year. He's definitely the pillar in terms of the old staff. He was definitely like the pillar of the ROs. Like he's the one who actually contributes a lot to the behind the scenes work. So yeah, definitely Rob deserves this nod as a place in the top 5. So, nicest tournament player. Her. This is a category that, you know, is often conflicted with most helpful because definitely the more impactful, the more nice you get, the more people will remember you. And definitely this category is worth mentioning because there's a lot of nice people in tournaments room, staff or not. And the winner of nicest tournament player goes to Frostpixel. Now I'm really surprised I made into the top 5 because I really do you people really see me as nice? But it's okay though. I made top 5, and that's certainly like a nod because when I counted the votes, I was like, what, number 2 in terms of votes, and Frostpixel was leading that one. Frostpixel basically dominated this one, and I can see why. Frostpixel has been very helpful behind the scenes again, and yeah, in terms of the room itself, he's been very enthusiastic about everything, even if it means bashing me and Poe or setting wild and crazy tours. Frostpixel's definitely been one of the more standout presences ever since he was just a mini tours reg back at during that tenure of like the back half of the year, let's just say that. And of course we got 3 regs in the top 5, which is really not surprising. Well, if you're a long-time member of the tours community and you're still checking in and out of the room, this may come off as a surprise, but when you've been active in the room for the past year, you would know that Luyu, PS Ash, and Pikasup made the top 5 because, oh yeah, they make sense. They're like the optimal choices for every tours reg. It's like, yeah, they make sense. They've been around the room. They've been helping out a lot of people. I can see them definitely making top 5. But yeah, the winner had to be a staff. And Frostpixel, well, definitely deserves this nod. Next up, most helpful tournaments player. Now, I categorize both nicest and most helpful differentially, and I know a lot of people questioned that back then. But the way I say is that nice people, you know, the guys who are generally have the greatest behavior, is easily like is easily socially commendable, which really surprised me because I'm not really that socially commendable. Why did I make top 5? But yeah. And then for helpful, it's the more realistic side. Like, if I ask you now, what is the meaning of a choice band? That and then the helpfulness comes in, and that's why I categorize that as most helpful. And the winner for most helpful tournaments player, no surprise, not really, Frostpixel definitely deserves a nod here with 27.2% of the vote. Very, very incredible. Oh, I did not. I will. I did not. I am not all that surprised. Like, again, and same with the other top 4 nominations like Luiu, Jordy, Crunchman, and PS Ash. I'm not really that surprised that they all made the top 5, especially because they are the guys with the most active in their respective time zones, and their commitment to the room and commitment to helping all these regs is outstanding and should be praised and commended. So that's why people nominate you guys, because of their helpfulness. And I cannot see. I could see Frostpixel, Jordy, and Crunchman winning the most, so it makes sense only that Frostpixel should win. But that's me. Memeest Tournaments player. We have a story from last year that Memeest Tournaments player was robbed last year because the preconceived notion that everyone, first Bidoof is definitely worth meme, so that's why he should win, right? And he did win by a landslide over El Cap. Well, guess what? Who won this year? Frickin' El Cap. Well, not surprised. Not surprised at all that El Cap would win this year. You definitely won this time, El Cap. Next year, you'll probably. But I did see a lot of votes coming in from the other 4 nominations, which, again, that just goes to show you, if you don't show up in the room to be your meme, people are less likely gonna remember you. Just saying, El Cap KD. The other nominations went to NPS Harmonia, who is a Monita grinder. Who's grinding the money to tour boards and being all sorts of talking all sorts of funny crap behind in the chat. So, next up is Udon Girl. Next nomination for bringing such the memeiest sets known to humankind in BLT and TLT with their super niche max HP choice mons that surprisingly are very effective. Over the course of her run, and Udon Girl had a pretty lackluster end, but you know what? She made an impact, and she'll definitely go long in the next parts of BLT and TLT if she continues making those. It's less likely for her to get memeiest. So you gotta create some more basic crap. Udon Girl, give us some more gimmicky crap. Speaking of gimmicky crap, Crunchman also got the nod. And of course, Ron 5, the original Tours meme. Well, he was originally more of a Plaza meme, but when Ron 5 stepped into Tours and absolutely won and kept winning a lot of room tours, people okay, yeah. And then he won in BLT and had a pretty good record out of it for his first. And people are oh shoot, Ron might actually be not a meme anymore. And yeah, well earned placement there. But of course, nothing beats the El Cap cheese in terms of tournaments room. So El Cap KD definitely deserves the nod on this one. Now, if El Cap can stay in the room. How will El Cap retire? That's the pose I'm going to question to you guys in the comments. How will El Cap retire? Something to think about. Next nomination, Best Bot of 2021. I made this basically as a joke because there's only 2 bots, and it would be really funny if Officer Jenny would win one of these years over Lady Manita, but you know what? Lady Manita, of course, would win in a landslide, 91.4% of the vote. No surprises there. Sir Donovan has been really kicking up a notch with Lady Manita, using her to her full potential, and being absolutely goat behind the scenes as well. Like, I cannot stop praising Sir Donovan enough. He's awesome, and so is Manita. Fart and Officer Jenny, though, have been taking, like, huge strides, especially, you know, helping us neuter the chat as well, as fellow staff would like to oblige. But overall, Lady Manita definitely deserves the nod. For the second year in a row, too. Maybe at some point we will get a bot that will eventually beat Manita in this award. Who knows? Next is the best BLT team of 2021. It may be 6 months too late, but the winner, of course, is the champions themselves with the little Turtwigs. Landslide again, maybe because I put them as champions. That's why it was pretty easy for them to be the best BLT team. Like, oh yeah, of course, they won the whole thing. That means they're the best, right? Well, look at all the 13.6% people who voted for the Anastar Articunos and tell me if the Turtwigs really won that. Also, the runners-up, the Lavender Lapresses, are nowhere to be found, as well as the Celestic Town Celestelas, which I'm still very annoyed about. I'm happy to see the Petalburg Puchianas, though, because they were definitely like ranked the weakest team, they said, in all of BLT, and it was really a blessing in disguise that they made it this far, even actually coming close to knocking out the Lapresses. If only, you know, the Turtwigs clobber stomped the Lapresses in their series. Oh well. And of course the Rune Valley Roseraids, who were dominant in their early stages in BLT. And the round robin pools of BLT, very, very dominant there. And of course the Bayern Munchlaxes. Rob never failed to make a series semifinal. And I will jinx it next year. So, best TLT player of 2021. Of course, TLT is still ongoing, but I would we would like to recognize who made like the best impact on TLT this year, TLT 5. And the winner of that, it's Crunchman. I mean, no surprises there. Crunchman made top 7 of TLT this year. And it was a really disappointing end to his run. But his road to top 8 was certainly very commendable. Not many people can say that they have achieved quarterfinal status in their first TLT. And Crunchman is definitely one of them. Next, Stariel came second, who's still in TLT, by the way, at the time I'm recording this. Anyway, but yeah, Stariel made also an impact for being just a goated player in general. Wesh Papillon also made it with 16% of the vote. Even though, you know, he lost in round 1. No, he lost in round 2 of losers. I don't remember against 2, but certainly had an unfortunate run, Wesh, but you know what? I'm cool with it. Also, Malmoonsalt, because everyone knows Malmoonsalt is the greatest player in Tournaments Room, and Ars9, even though Ars9 legit lost in round 1. He's still like one of the heavy favorites to win, and his matches were basically robbed. So, yeah, Ars9 lost there. Also least in the votes, but he still made top 5, which is very commendable. But also Crunchman won with 33.3% of the vote. Next up, most likely to top the leaderboard. I renamed Best Points Grinder to this because this obviously makes the most sense. And the winner of that, no surprise, Malmoonsalt, who is just the epitome of a Tours grinder. Seriously, he's like what 5. I want to guess like 5,000. He will reach 5,000. No, he's reached 5,000 last year. I don't know about this year. I think he's at 3,500 this year. But yeah, Mal is our annual champion. Not surprising at all. I think he also won last year as well, so that goes doubly exciting. Next up is PS Ash, who's number 2 on the votes with 27.2%. Very, very good. We got Crunchman, and we got I Have Best Sand Team. Now, if you get, of course, don't know who I Have Best Sand Team is. He's another one of those, like, Money to grinders. Most likely the top both tours and Money to leaderboard. Wouldn't you believe it? Crunchman, and of course, the Kua, who's trucking along with that little pie slice. But of course, Mal won, so who really saw that coming? Best mainstream tier. I got a lot of flack for putting 1v1 and 2v2 here because it's not a mainstream tier. It's technically classified as an other meta. Guys, it's been said a lot in Tour's Room, and there's definitely an audience for it. I consider that mainstream more than anything. But of course, it did not win best mainstream tier because the best mainstream tier is, of course, Random Battle. And with Random Battle's team tournament signing up at the time I'm recording this, that's definitely no shocker. Like, Randbats is definitely like the turn off your brain and just play ladderable tier. Next up is OU, which is a little bit more big brain, but still flip off your brain. Go play some OU. Here are the best Pokemon. Go. 1v1 also got third with 19.8% of the vote. Very nice. Doubles came next, and then Ubers, which really surprised me because I thought people hated Ubers. And absolutely hated Ubers. I was expecting something like Monotype or LC to make this, but apparently people just like Ubers, as well as Legendaries. Speaking of other meta, best OM. Almost any ability won. This is definitely like a follow up to last year, which Stabmons won best OM. So it was no surprise to the Plaza folk that almost any ability would win because it is definitely one of the more creative like metas out there, giving your biggest sweeper ever Magic Guard Life Orb, and giving your Unbreakable Wall unaware leftovers or something like that is definitely there are creative liberties you can take with almost any ability, and go create some big brain strats, and there's still big brain strats being discovered to this day, so definitely a big advantage there. Mix and Mega came next, and then Balanced Hackmons, and then NFE. Oh no, NFE came next, then Balanced Hackmons, then Catmomons. So next up, best Money to Hosted Tour. It wouldn't be Tour's Room without having to include best Money to Hosted Tour, because the Money to Tours have been kind of the story of 2020, 2021. Ever since they were brought back, they were like push for demand, these Money to Tours. And the winner, of course, for the best format, Catch and Evolve. I mean, yeah, it's the simplest. Hell, people still have trouble remembering what evolution is to this day. So, Catch and Evolve definitely helps kind of get kids or younger audiences to learn about Pokemon and how movesets work and all that. Definitely the biggest again, I talked about turn off your brain moments. This is more turn off your brain than Ranbats and OU. So, next was Same Solo, Same Duo, which is honestly, along with Same Six, probably my two favorite Moneta hosted tours. I would definitely play more of a Same Six and Same Solo more than Same Catch and Evolve. But that's just me. Cloak and Dagger came next, which is a really interesting format. I would love to see a scripted version of Cloak and Dagger, but I assume that would be pretty hard to code. So, yeah. I would definitely, and also doubles catch and evolve is there, which really surprised me because I thought catch and devolve would make it here, or doubles catch and evolve. Not necessarily that doubles catch and devolve, but you know, the tours, regs, mines are weird. Finally, we come to the big question: BLT or TLT? Which tours event really struck a nerve with a lot of people this year? Of course, BLT won by a kind of a large margin, like they did last year. I think this is the same margin, like 64 to 35. Yeah, not surprised. It kind of looks like the Pepsi logo if you and now you can never unsee it. But yeah, BLT team tours are generally more fun than individual tours, as some people said. And for me, I don't know. I'm split down the middle myself on that argument, but yeah, BLT. No shocker who won there because the grand prize was custom avatars. So lucky, especially to some people who don't deserve. Well, never mind. And finally, we come to the big one: best tournament player. Mal Moonsalt won last year. No surprises there. But who will win this year for best tournament player? Certainly the most prestigious of these awards. The winner for best tournament player goes to no surprise, Mal won again. And second place though was PS Ash over Trade, Storiel, and Crunchman. And it's surprising to see that PS Ash got a lot of votes because I guess the new tours mindset is like, oh yeah, PS Ash is definitely gonna be like the new Mal, and a lot of people said Mal's probably the best tours player there is. So yeah, definitely happy for PS Ash to make it here. But being in the same league as like Storiel, Crunchman, and Trade, that's gotta say something to your ego. But Mal, of course, wins because he's Mal. He is the best tours player of all time. Certainly putting all the other grinders to shame. Am I right, GXC? So, so yeah, that's the award portion of the show done. I'm here to give. I have some shoutouts ready. First off, thank you to the amazing staff that, of course, have. Thank you to the staff that enabled me to host this tour in the first place, and now that I'm continuing this again, I'm happy that I've got to host this again because it was super fun last year. Even if we got only 80 responses, those 80 responses. I sure do say that a lot of people really care about Tours Room. So, thank you to the staff. You're all an amazing team. I can name each and every one of you right now, but I just can't. So I'm just going to say you all. Thank you, of course, to Sir Donovan for the Lady Manita stuff, like behind-the-scenes work. You are truly the backbone of Tours Room. Helping all the mechanics of Lady Manita down, and being super friendly when discussing potential bugs that may have happened. You're definitely a standout guy. And of course, thank you to everyone in the chat for just keeping this room alive. You guys definitely are the heart and soul of this room. And do not abuse your right to be the heart of this room. Just be polite, just be friendly, and keep this room active. Keep the room the way it is, and you will definitely like make Tours Room a must visit room in Pokemon Showdown. So yeah, that's all for the tournament awards. The tournament awards. What a way to end this video off, Mikoi. It's like your vocal cords have been running low. Anyway, thank you all for watching. This has been Mikoi, signing out.